Man.
There you go.
Yeah, do you know what? We'll take Todd Colin. Because, yeah, D&T versus Reanimator.
We had this last month.
Did we?
Yes, because I played against Colin.
Oh, yeah.
I beat him 2-0.
Well, this time we'll have a D&T player as a Mr. Trigger.
Shots fired.
These aren't shots. These are like across the bow.
Wow.
I'm firing cannons,
wow.
mate.
Just you wait.
For what?
Next month.
I need a drink. Nearly killed myself as I walked back in the room with another drink. Oh, apologies. We're not going to put Pugs and Enchantress on stream. Especially not when I can't properly see what's going on. So we have the ever lovely Colin. Proper gentleman. He is 2-0. Both these players 2-0. Todd, our first round Death and Taxes player. I am proper gassy right now from running downstairs. Don't do a whole lot of running normally. Whew. Todd Aaron. They're 2-0, right? Both of them?
Yeah.
Thought so. Just kind of hoping Colin to sit on that side, so only had to change one more letter, but he would obviously sit on that side. There we go. Right, and this is 0-0. You haven't started time yet, have you? Cool. Well, this is going to be a interesting match, which we had last time we streamed Legacy. Whew! Oh, running is not good when you've been doing deliveries all day. So, we have a not great looking hand from Todd, but this is not a good game one. So Colin has a mulligan.
No, it's not done.
Yeah, just 3 Dark Rituals, no lands. It's fine. It's like looking at it like, wow, if he had a land, he still couldn't have achieved anything. He could have cast 3 Dark Rituals and said go. Top plays. Oh, Todd is not starting the game at 11. Just, you know, starting with a handicap.
Time is done.
Time started. Cool. There we go. Earlier, I described Todd as looking at like he's just escaped from a Taiwanese prison. But now he looks slightly better. You know, his hair's not as bad or anything. So, no student decks on stream. Student? I don't know. Todd is a student technically.
Yeah.
And D&T is a pretty studenty deck. Unless you're asking about Student of Warfare decks. I don't really think that's a legacy card. That has mana. And generally that would be a keep at 5. Does it have things you can play? Yeah, cool. That was not a good card then. Oh, the first spell of the game is going to cost 1. I wonder if they'll remember it. Oh. So last week we saw Death and Taxes just beat Chancellor of the Annex in play. So, I think he did just draw an ice cream machine. Richard and Port, yeah, ice cream machine. And your turn. Yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a slow match. Or slow game one. Colin not having any lands or anything to do realistically does slow the game down somewhat. But we never know. That is a Badlands, named because it is a bad land. And he's holding a Bayou. Oh no, wait, he's about to search his library again. So search, let Todd shuffle it. Oh, by the way, I'm going to look through my library again. Now, if Colin has an Elishnorn, this game is nearly over. Instead, he's just going to be a right sensible lad and get a Grizzle Brizzle. Not a terrible idea. Todd does not have any removal in hand. No Swords to Plowshares. He has a Flickhoist, which is a couple turns out. And we're going to see an Animate Dead. Here, I would think, unless... Yeah, we're just going to see him animate Grizzlebrand. Oh yeah. It's always good. Best card type in Magic the Gathering's history. Is, you know what the original Animate Dead says?
I actually did, but I don't know.
Let's see. Animate Dead originally said enchant dead creature, which is just beautiful. What does it do? It enchants a dead thing. Oh, Colin's played some life. He's got far too many cards in hand. Oh, what are you going to do with that many cards? Ah. Todd reading Animate Dead, which doesn't hugely make any sense. Colin having to remind himself. Grizzlebrand only has 6 power here. Because it has -1 to its original power. Which is just a grand way of describing things. Oh no, let's just discard a bunch of cards as well, like this Grizzlebrand and this Chancellor of the Annex. And I think Colin's counted to 7, so it's fine. Oh. What is that noise?
I have no clue.
I...
The boiler's over there.
Yeah. It probably is the boiler. It sounds like the boiler where I used to live. Oh, so he's going to flicker Animate Dead. And then when this comes back... Yeah, well done. When it comes back into play, it will bring another creature back with it. I would like to point out, on the original printing of this card, it says if this enchantment is removed or at the end of the game, target creature is returned to its owner's graveyard. Just to remind people. Right, this is a judge question.
I give up.
There are so many better ways to play that. There's so many better ways to play that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Todd isn't happy. So, Anime Dad's going to return and then return something else because that's what happens. There you go. I apologise for the delay. I had to go and inform Todd how that deck works. So... Oh. Oh. So that's fine. So Colin is discarding, which is pretty normal to do. Or he will be discarding. I think he's actually just figuring out how he's playing the turn. So it's a lot of cards there. So, anyway, I was busy reading a card. Apologies for the silences. I am very sorry. So, this is looking pretty good. We've got another Entomb rolling. So, Iona, named White is pretty good. Colin looks right happy with himself. Right, okay, that's interesting. I would have gotten an Iona there. Just named White, because then you can't get swords. So... So, yeah, we're just going to get in for 6. I imagine this is going to be reanimate, or we would have seen this pre-combat. No, it's going to be an exhume. So, Tiespout Tyrant, Grizzlebrand, Thought Sees You, take Flicker Wisp, drop to 9. That is not a terrible hand as things go. Oh, he Thought Seized and put. Oh, that's so brutal. So, Tiespout Tyrant trigger. Put the Rashad and Port back in the hand. And then I'm guessing we're probably going to see... It costs 2 mana, Colin. Costs 2 mana. Oh, okay. Pretty sure it's going to be over in a moment anyway. Oh, he tap a land for it, I think. Yeah. Yeah, cool. No, what do I mean? Yeah. There we go. Pick everything up. It's 1-0 to the real dad of the store. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! And Colin marches forward, progressing himself to at least 5 game wins. Something that we can all be proud of. So, how's everything going? Oh, pardon me. Just need to mute the microphone again. Oh, that's why we need so much drink. Delightful. So, I imagine we're going to start seeing some things from Todd here. We're probably going to see Rest in Pieces. He's boarded, was that Spirit or Eidolon? He's boarding a lot of cards here. Sword of Feast and Famine. Not a card I would actually recommend versus Reanimator, because even though it can force some damage in, unless you're killing them on that blow, then you are giving them an extra discard outlet. So it is going to become harder from there. Oh no. So I think Todd might be over sideboarding a little bit here, but not too much. It is one of those things that does push D&T slightly further. When you start taking out a lot of cards and replacing more cards, you do start to dilute your strategy. So if you have 10 cards for a matchup, you're either so worried about it or it is just that bad. Now, the other thing for Todd here is Death and Taxes, like I said earlier when he was on stream, has a very clear, concise game plan, whereas now it's going to have extra cards in there. It's going to have things that don't specifically do things. So we might see some part here, we might not. It is very hard to tell whether or not that's going to come up. So, and how much that is going to affect the game. So we will see. I still slightly have my favour into Colin here for this matchup. We saw him lose to it last week, or a month ago, but back then his only threats were Chancellor of the Annex. Now, Chancellor is fine. The thing about Chancellor is, Rest in Peace is disgusting. If Todd has Rest in Peace, that's fair. But I think he's boarded in like 8 or 9 cards. So there are cards he's going to have taken out that would still be fine, that may not be the greatest. So it is hard to tell. Death and Taxes is one of those decks. And white is that colour that has all of those great sideboard cards. Now, when Colin has a Grizzlebrand or an Iona, or if he's added Elishnorn or Massacre Worm to his sideboard, then this can be a lot harder for Todd to actually get through. Because we were talking to him last time he was on, and I suggested Massacre Worm, and he did like the idea. So I wonder if he's found one or he's added an Elish or something. Now that hand has Dark Ritual, Iona, Lotus Petal, and I can't tell what the last spell was, but it looked like an Entomb or a Reanimation spell. But I don't think there's a way to put cards in the graveyard. Yeah, I'm right, he's taking a Martel. Hey Phil, how's it going, dude? Todd has kept his 7. Now, that could mean we're about to see like turn 2 Rest in Peace after a Chalice or after an Aether Vial. Now, the thing is that Colin could reveal Chancellor, so you want to run the Vial into that. So we're seeing a bit more of the hand there. I think he had a Rest in Peace. I think he actually had the Vial. He's got a Stoneforge Mystic. That looks like a Plains. I think the card right at the end of the hand on the left of Todd's is a Rest in Peace. So but we are most likely going to see Plains, Ice Cream, go. Yep, there we go. And Colin seems to have a lot of payoff and not much to go. Now that was a gravy train. That is the second time we've seen that card on camera today. So it's not the greatest draw because I don't think he's got any discard for it. But we might be about to see Bloodstained Mire, crack it for Badlands, Bayou, Swamp, any of those things. Dark Ritual, Entomb Exhume. Now that could be huge. That could be quite a lot. Todd cleaning a sleeve whilst his opponent's fetching. Todd has completed advanced BM, so he knows how to do it. Yeah, that's a Badlands. Dark Ritual. Got 3 black in the pool. Not that we really need a dice counter. He's not playing Storm, lads. But he's going to use 1, 2 to Collective Brutality, saying drain 2, lose 2, and I would like to escalate to take an instant or sorcery from your hand. So, mainly because they're the only 2 legal modes you can choose. No creatures in play 2 target. So Todd, rest in peace. Stoneforge Mystic. Don't know what the other... There's a Plains and 2 more cards. I think that's another Stoneforge Mystic and a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. So he doesn't get to take anything, but he does, in theory, get to bring out a Gravy Train today. Reanimate Grave Titan. So Todd had the turn 2 rest in peace. Rest in peace, brutal card, like Sneaky says. But is it enough to beat the turn 1 Grave Titan? No. It's probably not. So the question here is, you have to run out the Thalia now. And the Thalia isn't going to be enough. Oh yeah, he's at 15 because he mired. My bad. So here you don't go with the Rest in Peace, you go with the Thalia. You play the card that might get you the game. Rest in Peace isn't going to do anything if you're just exiling 4 random cards that don't mean anything in this matchup. So yeah, we're going to get Stoneforge Mystic. What are we going to go find? What are we going to find? Is it going to be sort of Feast and Famine? Feast and Famine will be good, but you're probably taking too much damage in that meantime, because next turn you're taking 10, Todd. And the turn after that you're taking 14. It's not enough to just violin a Feast and Famine. Was that Blackcleave Cliffs? No, it was Bloodstained Mire. But I don't think it's going to mind. It's going to matter even. Because we should swing with everything here. Yeah, generate 2 more tokens. So he's going to drop down to 8. Get 2 more tokens. Now that is 14 damage. Now Todd does not have that much life left. So I mean, what happens here? So he has the ability to violin Feast and Famine. To Mystic in Feast and Famine, and he can violin the Thalia. Now that at most can block 8 damage and put him to 2. But the thing is, he's still going to have more guys than Todd. So he'll go to 2 and he will just lose. So I would play the Thalia, blocked a token. Like, it's just not enough. Unless he has a Batter Skull in hand. In which case, he might be able to. So, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be that hard from here. I feel like Colin has taken that with the turn 2 Gravy Train. You gonna ride that train to the station, boys. D&T fall into Red Battery Army. Most probably. I'm not saying that's definitely the result, but it's going to be very hard to beat a Grave Titan and 4 zombie tokens. And the other one? Colin? No? Interesting. So that is actually a mistake, realistically. So he has to block Grave Titan. So he takes 4 down to 4. Yeah, he has faced this and puts in... Oh, he brought in Surgicals. Cool. So he vials in that, that's fine. So he takes 4 down to 4. He has 2 more tokens because he's waiting for Todd to get them out of his box. Todd has an awful lot of these zombie tokens. Yeah, Todd drops down to 4. Now, what does Todd have? Because that is an awful lot of power and toughness on board. There is an awful lot of power and toughness on board. So, realistically, Rip is a great card. And we know Todd brought it in. We saw it in his hand from the Collective Brutality. But, I mean, how much does it really do in the end? Right? How much does it do versus turn 2 Grave Time? How much... I mean, what can you do against such unrestrained hate? Wow, Colin just BMing here. Todd may have taken advanced BM, but Colin is certainly running the towns. Just reanimate your Stoneforge Mystic. Todd desperately searching for a way out. Not finding one? How unfortunate. Yeah, I know. He's just like declined the search. Like, I won't even search. I don't think that's rude. I feel like he's just missed the trick. There we go. 2-0 Colin. Wow. That was... Yeah, Jesus. I'm going to go get them through. I'll go bring them through. I'll be back in just a moment. So if you hang around, we'll be able to speak to both Colin and Todd, and we'll ask about Colin's misplay with the Stoneforge mistake. So, players will be joining us soon for conversation on the match. Just de-sideboarding as we go. Stalking Leonin. What does that card even do? Oh! That's a pretty cool card. Not going to lie. I like that card a lot. Did not know that was a real effect, honestly. So yeah. It's looking good. Colin 3-0 now. That was a super solid play from him. That the untap into, well, draw into Grave Time was huge for that. I don't realistically know if there's all that much else he could draw that would have got him out of that. But I suppose... Yeah, actually, I don't actually know what else there is. I mean, just drawing into it and being able to reanimate it turn 1 is pretty big. So, there you go. I feel like that's them coming in. Maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. Help. Sort of Path would have helped, yeah. I mean, drawing some removal would have been really good. But Colin even had the Brutality to check on turn 1. So, yeah. I mean, he had nothing. He had Rest in Peace in hand. And it wasn't enough because Colin managed to do it on turn 1. That's what the deck does. So, yeah. It's pretty good. Like, that is super cool to have. You know, you're sitting there playing around with deck, your opponent is playing. Cool. So Todd is just packing up, and I think they're making their way through soon. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to have the fact that that's his. Yeah, he said that when I went out there, they were like showing the cards. It's like, I had this, but so you know, that's what it happens though. There they are. I can hit Colin. Just going over what happened. He could have surgically shot it with reanimate as well. That's fine. Oh yeah, no, there. Yes, he can. Hello, gentlemen.
Where do you want us?
Leather seats, one on either side of me on the screen, where it will look like you are green screened.
I'm too fat for this table.
That's why I'll let you go
Don't
through
worry.
rather than me. Like, you know, I'm not going to get through that, am I?
That, to be fair, Colin is sitting where John sits when we stream the pre-release.
How are we doing?
So yeah, welcome. So in a rematch from last month's Legacy stream
Yeah.
of Red Black Reanimator versus Death and Taxes, Todd let down the winning side from last time.
Yeah.
Oh, Death and Taxes won last time, didn't
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
But as I was saying on stream, Death and Taxes won because Colin was only ever able to reanimate Chancellor of the Annex.
Yeah.
Like, that is not such a great threat comparatively to a Grizzlebrand or a Grave Titan off the top of your deck. Yeah, thank you, Phil. Also, Sneaky was saying you misplayed at the end there, Colin.
Yeah.
You didn't search for an equipment when you reanimated Stoneforge Mystic.
He failed to find. He announced
Yeah,
it.
I
He
know.
announced
Oh,
Yeah.
he just didn't look.
Yeah.
So he didn't even. He just chose not to use the ability. We
Yeah.
thought he missed it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I knew I could, but I didn't know. So fine.
It's so good.
I couldn't be bothered. I've had a day of stuff.
They were like,
Yeah.
everyone in the stream was just like, didn't even search for an equipment. It's so good. But yeah, the entirety of game 2 seemed to just come down to Todd didn't draw surgical extraction.
Oh, you
He
saw
did.
me drew it,
Yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
I drew it. The turn
Yeah.
after he reanimated Grave.
You also had Rest in Peace in your opening hand, which is fantastic.
I know. It was looking like
The
a
best
good game
bit-
for me
The best bit about it was Colin having nothing to reanimate in his opening hand.
until he drew.
And drawing Grave Titan off the top.
Yeah, to be fair, I did
Scry
mulligan that
Grave Titan to the top. Oh yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, he
yeah.
scried to the bottom.
Did he?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He blind drew
Yeah.
Grave Titan.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
It was like the worst bit is if you had the surgical, you can do it in response to the brutality
Yeah.
and take the Grave Titan. It's all still good. But yeah. Did you get that result?
No.
2-0
Colin
to
won
Colin.
2-0.
Yeah. Yeah, I think today, I mean, it was bizarre, wasn't it? Because Todd and I actually played a number of games earlier on, and you were all over me, weren't you? with
Yeah.
different taxes.
I don't think I lost the game
yeah.
this afternoon.
And
Yeah.
today, you know,
But,
it just
you know,
did,
on
it did its
stream.
thing. It just did its thing
Yeah,
today.
Mulder
Colin-
5.
Colin was
Grizzlebrand
like, do you
draw
know what?
14 cards.
It's going to be, I'm on stream now, it's time to play
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah, time to, you know, redeem myself for last time.
My I imagined that I was blind on game 1, and I was like, this hand's fine if I don't know what Colin's on.
Oh, you don't do that, you just play because you know it's fine.
No, that's
No, that's how you do it at a
dishonourable.
tournament.
Yeah, well, I haven't been floating over Colin's shoulder all night. So.
You knew what he was on.
No. But then game 2, I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, turn 2.
You had
Vial on 2, Thalia. This is great. Like,
The best bit was you had the vial in case he revealed Chancellor. You just like let your vial get countered,
Yeah,
untouched, play Rest in
exactly.
Peace.
All
Yeah.
looked good, and then I just ripped.
It was
Yeah.
just, I saw the draw and I was
Dark
like,
Ritual,
yeah,
Yeah.
you could do it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was-
sometimes a powerful card. and-
Part of me thought you
That
had
early.
Entomb, and I was like, oh man, he drew Grave Titan. This sucks. And then you Brutality, and I was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
And as I saw your hand had no instance of sorceries in, I was like, oh, this sucks for Todd.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, my deck did its thing, and you all stumbled for
Yeah.
first time today.
Mine was too fair.
Yeah, it's so fair.
Too fair, too slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great to be playing.
I
Legacy,
did draw
yeah.
my surgical though.
Yeah, I know.
Drew my
It
sur-
is.
drew my got my feast and famine on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Phil said in the sideboard in the chat. Is he basically drew the surgical too late?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have also not played Stoneforge Mystic on turn 2. I would have just played Thalia and eaten zombie tokens for days.
Oh no, I vialed in Thalia
Yeah.
to block
Oh
on
yeah.
that same turn.
Yeah.
I could play Stoneforge.
No, you didn't. Turn 2, you played Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
and then untapped and then had fast.
Yeah, but that's because I wanted to.
Yeah, but it's not going to
feast and famine.
It's
and then
not going
if
to do
I can
anything.
equip that, I can get out more stuff.
Yeah,
That's a
but
much
the
more value
problem
play.
is it's not going to win anything because the first attack you don't block with Stoneforge, so you take 10 down to 8.
Yeah.
And Colin then has 12 power in play. Or no, 14 power in play.
Yeah, but if I can equip the feast and famine,
You
can
die to
start
the tokens.
blocking. Yeah, but if I equip, I can attack, untap my lands, and then re-equip it to Thalia and actually block the Grave Titan.
Yeah, and die to the tokens because he has 12
either
power
way,
tokens.
I'm dying, George. I'm
No,
just saying.
no,
It
because
was
you
buying time.
you-
I can see
it-
that.
it-
You know,
Colin
it
Colin
was-
attacks
yeah.
you for 10.
Yeah.
You take 8 down to 10, and then you put like a Flicker Wisp or another X whatever first striker in, and you survive for like an extra turn, which can be enough. So
I don't know.
I can see where you wanted to go with the feast and famine, but
Yeah,
It's
it was a real beating to me earlier on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that's why I was pleased to have the second reanimator to reanimate.
Yeah.
To grab that off, so I've got protect.
I just love the fact
to,
that
to negate the pro black green.
Yeah.
You know, that was.
it's like
that was
you might have the
disgusting.
sword in play, but I'm going to take your guy to block your guy.
Yeah.
Is a super good play.
I like that.
I think it was because Todd, you couldn't put 3 equipments on a Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah.
Because that was game 1 and 2 for you earlier. I got the Stoneforge Mystic with a Battle Skull and a Sword of Fire and Ice,
Yeah,
and this
pretty
Jitte
good,
with
right?
like
Oh, man.
this Jitte with 7 counters on it, and it was like, oh, well, this isn't.
That was a much more fair matchup. I get lands, he gets lands.
Did you not see his round 2? It
No.
was Nick Fit versus Jund.
Jund. Who's on Jund?
Matt.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, Simon or whatever. I think it might be.
Simon? What?
Not that it's one of Matt's friends, but yeah, he
Oh,
plays.
right.
Oh no, one of Ian's friends. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's playing Jund, so it was like the fair off for the first 2 rounds for Ian. It was like, I want to play Tarmogoyf, and I want to play Thalia, and he's like, I want to cast Green Sun Zenith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got time for fair. Like I need to get the toilet in between rounds.
Yeah, I love the. I haven't got the time for fair. And it's like, spends most of the game
I like that you
mulliganing.
called stalking Leonin up.
I forgot what
That's
it
a lovely
did.
card, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remembered. Well, I didn't remember what it was called, but I just searched for Leonin, and then saw what it was and brought it up.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah,
So I got that as well.
3 mana's a little bit.
Yeah,
So-
not when you got a vial.
So turn 4.
Anyway, it's 3 mana,
Yeah, it's 3 mana Exile Guy.
like, you know, and I can flicker wisp it.
Yeah.
And again, and again, and again.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Just need time to do it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Colin doesn't like giving people time.
No, he's playing
He
Red
needs
Black
to win.
Reanimate. He
I
wants to
haven't got
win
time
on
on my
turn
side
1
of
or
my
2.
days, man. Like you know.
Black green as well. Talk to us about that choice.
Yeah.
You want any just for abrupt decay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
That's
just for the
yeah.
decays.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mean, what do you mean black green in general?
No, why you have Bayou as well as Battle?
Yeah. Also,
it's
I mean,
just
I
for
rely
decay.
heavily on Reverent Silence in the sideboard. A lot of the hate against me is enchantment based.
Sure. What's
Yeah.
Reverend?
Silence is fantastic. It's a blowout for enchantment decks.
Yeah, it really
Put
is.
up,
Glad it never mattered to me.
That's if you control a forest, you can have your opponent gain 6 life
Oh,
instead. But it just
yeah,
I- Destroys all
enchantments.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was
Well,
looking.
it's because abrupt decay doesn't hit things like Leyline, Leyline Void.
Yeah.
So
Can't shout. I'm sure.
I've got one of these in one of my old binders of old Chod.
yeah,
It's not Chod. It's
No,
pretty
well, I
good.
brought it in
Yeah.
and to trade into the store. The store told me it was Chod.
No, it's not worth anything, but it's not Chod because like you look at like Enchantress.
yeah,
True.
I'd like your board to disappear.
basically, yeah, it was a bit of a blowout.
It's like
It's actually
Sansa
against
versus
Leylines.
Ramsay Bolton.
You know, I played a Leyline step a little while ago, and it's just horrible for them. Don't
Well, I mean, you have it in your sideboard, and I
Yeah.
played Prison that one time,
Yeah,
and I was like, "What's the card called?" So I need to nevermore that card against you.
yeah, yes, yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, it's all good.
Yeah.
But you know, it is very good. It was a very good set of matches, even though like it was a 2-0. You at least tried to do things. Like that's the problem. It's Red Black Reanimator.
If it does
If it does its thing and you don't have swords,
yeah.
I let Colin do a lot of game 1 when I could have scooped.
Yeah, that's right. We just wanted to see what it could
Yeah,
do. Didn't we?
oh,
Like, you
go
know.
on, let's see if he died spouts all of my permanents.
Well, that I could have done. Yeah, that was the plan. Like,
that is
yeah.
what Pat just did to Matt in round 2. He tied spouted basically an entire board, except so last time when Colin missed those, or Colin and Patrick both missed Reanimate, and the fact you lose
Yeah.
life when you cast it.
Yeah.
Tonight, Patrick has been very careful to stare at the camera whilst he just reduces his life total. Except from he missed a tie spout Tyrant trigger. And it was caused by Reanimate. So he reanimated it and came through and was like, I didn't miss a trigger. And I was like, you did. You had 4 tie spout triggers and only resolved 3 of them. And he was like, oh no. So next time on Pauper, he can't make any mistakes. And if he does, I don't know.
We're looking forward to the Pauper.
Yeah.
Great
So-
to see that streamed.
It would be very fun to hear me talk about Pauper. I know nothing. I know a small amount about the format now.
It's just Legacy.
If I didn't enjoy playing it so much.
It's not Legacy. It has
It's Legacy.
way more
With
card
kill
draw in
V.
every deck.
Yeah.
Every deck can draw like 29 cards. Like,
And what about the Animate Dead? Can you talk to me about that?
so
There's
anime.
no way I can flicker wisp that thing away, right?
Well,
If I flicker wisp Gristlebrand, it comes back and it stays there forever as a 7/7. Yeah, I'm sure
Well-
that's how it works.
so Anime Dead is a weird card because it has a delayed. It has a delayed trigger. So this wording here, when it leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it. That is a delayed trigger. So whilst I'm actually reasonably sure what you're saying is fine, I would not be 100% on board on that. But yeah, the way you did it is like they lose their guy and bring another guy back.
Yeah,
So-
but that's not like because. Oh no, that doesn't. So when do they sacrifice it though?
When this eventually hits the graveyard.
Okay, so it doesn't.
I can't remember if it's like It the Betrays, where it is the Terminator and will just follow you forever. Because It the Betrays is a weird card.
Because if I flicker with the Gristlebrand,
Yeah, Grizzlebrand still comes back, that's fine.
yeah,
That's cool. It's just a super weird card with really bad wording because they can't update it to actually make sense. Because
I can't. When I flicker with Animate Dead, he sacrifices Gristlebrand,
yeah, but then this comes back.
and then that comes back, and it hits the
Yeah.
battlefield, and it enchants any creature that's in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also
That's fair.
enchants dead creature.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless time on last round.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll be taking table 1.